Hello, welcome. Today we're talking about how to buy a property in the UK. Now this video is not only aimed at those who are looking to purchase their own home to live in themselves, but also to those who invest in property. The process is exactly the same, so whether you're buying your own home for yourself or an investment property, maybe a buy-to-let property, again this process is applicable. Now make sure you stay tuned to the very end of this video, because not only are we talking about the finance side of it, but also how to find property, how to view and offer on property, and the legal part of the purchasing process. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Marco. I'm a portfolio landlord, property investor, developer and mentor. And I'm very passionate about helping people invest in property. So let's get on to the topic of this video, which is essentially how to buy a house or how to buy a property in the UK. Number one, the first thing we need to think about in this process is the finance side. So how much can you borrow? Now this really depends on whether you're buying your own home to live in yourself or an investment property. So if you're buying your own home, mortgage lenders and banks will allow you to borrow, roughly speaking, about 4 or 4.5 times your earnings. And of course, if you have a partner who is also earning money, you can collate that together and times that by 4.5 to see how much you're able to borrow. So if we come onto the investment side, and in particular the buy-to-let side, what's important is not so much you as an individual and how much you earn, but that property, what is the rental income on that property? What is the proposed or potential rental income on that property? And this is what lenders are really concerned about, and they'll undergo and run several stress tests to make sure they're happy to lend on the property. So just to recap, how much you can borrow on the investment side isn't really that much to do with you as an individual and how much you can earn. It's more based on the property itself and the potential rents of it. Now what you need is what's called an agreement in principle or a decision in principle, which is basically a piece of paper from your mortgage broker or from a lender saying that in principle they're more or less happy to lend you the money to buy the property. And what agents will require is this agreement in principle when you're submitting that offer, and we'll come on to offers later in this video. Now, if you don't already have a mortgage broker and you want to use the broker that I know, like, use and trust, head to my website www.ms7.uk and click on use our suppliers, fill out the form, and I'll put you in touch with my mortgage broker. So once we've got an idea of how much we can borrow, we can then do the reverse. Well, how much cash do we need to put in? How much deposit do we need to put in to get this purchase across the line? Now, if you're buying your own home that you want to live in yourself, you can put down as little as a 5% deposit. In fact, I even saw a product come out this week which was 100% mortgage by Skipton. And this is for tenants who are currently renting at the moment. So for any tenants watching this video that want to get onto the property ladder, head to Skipton Mortgages and see if you qualify for that 100% mortgage offer. That being said, most residential deposits are somewhere probably between 10 and 20, 25%, something in that nature, especially for first-time buyers. So let's come on to the investment side, and a typical deposit is roughly speaking 25%, and especially for buy-to-let. Now you can increase this deposit ever so slightly, which means your loan to value is decreasing, and actually you'll get a slightly better interest rate for doing this. However, it means more of your cash is tied up in this property. Okay, so that's enough on the finance side. Let's come on to how to actually find properties. There are many ways to find properties, and I've got lots of videos on this channel specifically made about how to find properties. So have a look at my other videos after you've watched this video all the way to the very end. But very briefly, here are a few ways. You've got the obvious Rightmove and Zoopla, the online property portals. Obviously, you've got estate agents, estate agents in the areas which you're looking to buy. Again, build that relationship with those agents, tell them exactly what you're looking for. Another more creative option is what's called sending letters directly to vendors. This is where we're sending letters to landlords and to property owners. We've identified potential properties we'd like to purchase and we're contacting them directly. And the last way to come across really good property investment opportunities is to sign up to our weekly property newsletter. In the newsletter, every single week, there's a great property opportunity to purchase. The link is in the description, or head to www.ms7.uk/email to sign up. It's completely free, exclusive content, and you won't find that content anywhere else whatsoever. Okay, so we found the property, now we need to view the property. And viewing is really, really important. And there's two things that I'm really concerned about when I'm viewing a property. The first actually isn't the property whatsoever. It's actually building that rapport and relationship with the person that's showing me around. Could be the agent, it could be the landlord or the vendor themselves, but that relationship is so crucial. Now, the second thing I look for is the property. How much is this property going to cost me to get get it to the level that I want to get it to. And that's really important because we need to include, if anything, the amount required needed to spend on this property to get it to that level in our figures, and make sure we're incorporating this into our return on investment criteria. Okay, so once we've viewed the property, we then come on to offers. And I've got an absolutely amazing video that discusses how to offer on property and really breaks down in detail 2 real key property strategies when it comes to submitting offers. Here's a picture of the thumbnail, the link is in the description. Really do consider watching this video after you've watched this one all the way to the very end. Negotiation is an area where I'm highly skilled, and it's an area where I can add significant values, especially to my mentees and people that work with me. I've saved people tens of thousands of pounds when it comes to purchasing property. With that being said, if you're looking to take on a property mentor, again, head to the website ms7.uk, click on the mentoring page and book a call with me. Congratulations, your offer has been accepted. Now we move on to the legal part of the purchasing process. And this legal part is extremely important because once we've had this offer accepted, we need to see this deal through all the way from offer accepted to completion, and there's still a long way to go. And a lot of properties fall out of bed. In fact, 1 in 3 properties in the UK fall out of bed between offer accepted and completion, and you don't want to be one of those 3. Now, one option we've got here is, once we've started the legal part of the process, we can undertake a survey on the property that we're purchasing, and the survey will highlight any issues that maybe we haven't picked up on the viewing, or issues that we wouldn't know or wouldn't see because we don't have that skill set that the surveyor does. Again, this is optional. You know, there's no right or wrong thing to do. It's completely up to you and what you feel comfortable with doing. Now, with the legal part of the process, we want to work towards exchange in a real timely manner. When I say timely, fast, if you've got a really good offer accepted, because you don't want that vendor to change their mind, you don't want the seller to change their mind. And once we exchange contracts, then there are penalties if either side pulls out. So it's really important that we work to that exchange in a timely manner. That means liaising with your solicitor in a timely manner. And if you haven't heard from the other side in a while, again, tell your solicitor to just nudge the other side and to encourage them to respond to your inquiries or anything that's outstanding. So typically on exchange, we put down a 10% deposit. And again, this is normally non-refundable. So if you back out, you will lose your 10%. But that being said, if you've secured a really good deal, then again, you need to work towards exchange. Now, after exchange comes completion. This is where we complete on the property. You know, it's officially ours. We pick up the key and we can take ownership of the property, which is absolutely amazing. So if you're purchasing your very own property for you to live in yourself, that's amazing. Maybe there's some work to do, maybe there's not. But if you're purchasing an investment property, the property that you've purchased could already be rented out. It could come with a tenant in situ, in which case that's great. There's not too much work to be done. However, that being said, the property could be vacant, in which case you have to find the tenant, place that tenant and get the rents coming in. Or maybe the property needs a full refurb and you need to refurb the property first, and then you're looking to tenant it afterwards and maybe refinance and realize some of the equity that you have added. Now, following on very nicely from this, if you're looking for a great video that details how to buy property, refurbish property, rent it out to a tenant, and then refinance and pull out that cash you've invested, or the majority of that cash you have invested, well, here's a picture of the thumbnail. Again, the link is in the description, and please do consider watching it. So that's it. So that's how to purchase a house or a property in the UK, whether it's your own house or an investment property. That is the process. And again, please do deep dive into my channel because you'll see lots of videos, specific tailored videos to very small parts of this property purchasing process. So you'll find videos on offering properties, you'll find videos on how to view properties, again, a video on the legal part of the process, and everything to do with property investing. Now, for those regular subscribers, you may have noticed that the set behind you has changed ever so slightly. We're doing a full refurb in this house where I am at the moment. I'm trying to hide all the wires with plants and cut certain things out the frame so you're not seeing all the brick and the dirt and the plaster and the paint, etc. But if you bear with me, give me 2 or 3 weeks and this space will look completely different. It'll be an incredible space. I've got some really good guests lined up to come on the channel and share their property wisdom with us all. Take care and all the best with your property investing day. Goodbye.